What is a string retainer? How is it different from a string tree? And why would you use them? Hi people, Daniel from Devon Sons Guitars here. Today we're going to look at string retainers, and I'm going to quickly tell you exactly what their purpose is. They're quite different from string trees, which you may have seen before. If I just quickly use this guitar as an example, it's a rally car inspired custom job that I've just done for a client of mine called Billy in America, and it's got a string retainer on it. And you see the string retainer covers all 6 strings of the guitar. If you looked at a string tree, for example, like on a Fender, you might find the string tree is only used for 2 or 4 of the strings, not all 6. And they serve a slightly different purpose. Basically, as the strings go over the nut, they need to come off the nut at an angle, so there's a bit of tension on the nut, so that when you're playing, the string doesn't slip out of the nut. And on certain headstocks, if they're not tilted back, a Les Paul headstock, for example, tilts right back. If they're not tilted back like on a Fender one, there's a risk that the angle of the string going over the nut isn't great enough to allow it to stay in place and not slip, which is why a string tree is used on that type of neck. But a string retainer is used on a guitar that has something like a floating bridge, like a Floyd Rose, or in this case, my FU tone titanium bridge. What I love about the FU tone bridges is that you can pick the colours on them. So this is titanium with this red and blue matches the colours of the hardware of the car that inspired the guitar. This Monzo part is just part of the design for my client, because this is a racing car themed guitar. So that just comes off. I've drilled some holes that it fits back in. But the main thing we're looking at is the FU tone string retainer. Just like any standard retainer, they've got their locking nut there, just like a standard Floyd Rose one, but made of titanium. Nice. So first I'm going to show you what the string retainer here is actually doing, and then I'll take it off and we can look at what it does if it wasn't there. But you can basically see the string comes into the nut, goes over the locking part, then it comes down under the string retainer, which has got that kind of curved bottom on it, so it doesn't really catch, and then goes over to the machine head. So here what we can see is the angle changes. The angle changes as it hits the top of the nut, then it goes over the nut, and as it comes out of the nut, it's at an angle that brings it under the string retainer, and then a new angle which goes over towards the machine head. If the string retainer wasn't there, we'd just have one angle coming out from the end of the nut to the machine head. And that's the key thing, is changing the angle here and bringing it down quite sharply. Let me just loosen this and you can see the difference if it wasn't tightened up. So there, now you can see that this string retainer is having no real effect on this string. It's not pulling the string down at all. What you can see is the string coming over here and going down towards the tuning peg. Now if the break angle was higher, let's say it was more like this, so we're focusing on the area here, then when I put the locking saddle on, you can see when it leaves the nut, it will go up and down. So what you don't want is that movement when you lock the nut. What you need is the string retainer down tight enough so that no matter what the angle is for the string once it leaves the string retainer, the main focus we've got of the string here between the retainer and the nut, you don't want any movement when you push the locking nut down. And the reason for that is you will tune your guitar up, and obviously with a Floyd Rose, any slight movement in the strings can change the tuning. So you want to make sure that as you're loosening and tightening the nut, there's no give on the tuning of the string. And that will happen if the string retainer wasn't there, because as we saw, this part of the string would move. But with the string retainer there, there'll be no change in the tuning, because even tightening the Allen key on the locking nut makes no difference to this angle. It doesn't budge the string at all, therefore the string will stay perfectly in tune. Just a quick request, if you found this useful, please consider hitting the super thanks on YouTube. All those thanks really help me justify making these videos. I do it in my own time, I'm not paid for them, I don't have sponsorship. It's your sponsorship that helps me make them. And if you don't have that money just to tip a cup of coffee or tea, don't worry, leaving a comment just to say you've watched the video and it's been useful, or to leave some extra information that you might have about string retainers is great. I love interacting with people in the comments, so I will say hi to you. And do have a look in the comments in case someone's put up some extra information that might turn out to be incredibly useful for you. So thanks for watching. I've got loads of videos about different parts of guitars and how they work, so do check out the rest of my channel, like and subscribe to make sure you see more videos as they come up. I'm going to leave a video here which is all about the Floyd Rose style tremolo bridge, because it goes hand in hand with this video, it goes hand in hand with the string retainer. But until next time, happy strumming.